Nicolas, we're very grateful for you making the trip from Switzerland to present to us LENR Cars. The floor is yours.
So, thank you. So I'm the guy who you might have heard of that is trying to power cars with LENR generators. So we're based in sorry, is it this one?
No, that's the trip one.
So we're based in Switzerland, in Lausanne. It's a pretty nice place near the lake. And actually it's quite cool because the closest tokamak is about 300 meters from where we are. The closest big physics and accelerometers is the CERN, and it's about 40 miles away. We founded the company in March 2012 with very limited funding, and currently we're under due diligence for funding of about 400,000 Swiss francs. We have a very limited budget this year, about 60K, and current staff is 1.5 people plus a trainee and intern, but a lot of volunteering partners for different companies that is helping us progress on this journey. So this is a team. So my background is actually not physics, it's not nuclear physics. I'm coming from robotics and from consumer electronics. I've been in charge of a team at Logitech. I was technical leader for all the advanced research for Logitech Group. I worked for NASA and Nestlé in the past. And my partner Antoine is actually a nuclear physicist, and now he's working in the physics building, trying to improve the efficiency of buildings. And both of us have created a service startup before. And actually, was one person in the team. It's a small investor, but he's actually giving us some advice, and it's challenging us. Is Daniel Borel, is the founder of Logitech. He's a member of the board of Nestlé, and he's one of very well-known entrepreneurs in Switzerland. What is our strategy? The goal is actually to accelerate the adoption and the reach of LENR electricity production. And how to do that is by setting up collaboration with teams of people that are working in that field, with other teams that are doing heat to electricity conversion, and with industrial partners that might be interested in mobile electric generators and scalable power source. So it's a long-term scenario. As other people said, the technology is not mature, it's not ready yet for commercial application. So we know that. Are we too early in the game? Yes, we are, but that's the way we can enter the market. So we're securing some of the application by applying for patents, mainly focusing on the transport industry. It's still about 25% of the energy consumed every year. So it's a market that no one is currently addressing except Mr. Chauvin. And the strategic plan is, the first step was to do networking and business development. Then we're now in stage 2 in leverage funding. Then we want to build this demonstrator of an electrical generator in self-sustained mode based on LENR thermal generator, and then it's engaging a key player of the industry. The business model is focusing on the IP and to stay a technological company. So in the short term, we want to sell early prototypes, then to sell IP license, and at the end, maybe sell products in partnership with big industrial partners. We want to control a portion of the patents that are combining LENR generator with thermoelectric conversion technology. So the company is called LENR Car, but we're not focusing just on cars. So it's basically our market is all the transportation industry, including boats, and trains and electric airplanes in the future. Our assumption is that currently the electric vehicle suffer from some problems of the batteries. First, the battery adds a large cost on the product. It adds weight. We still have reliability issue. If you think of the problem with Boeing early this year, you have a fairly limited range compared to a regular car, and you still have risk of fire in case of accident. So, with an idea of a LENR generator, we can imagine a lower cost product with much higher capacity and longer lifetime, and probably safer operation than batteries. We had to compare the device we imagine to standard technology like lithium-ion batteries or hydrogen fuel cell, and we can imagine that we have something that is in the same range of weight, but with much higher energy capacity by consuming much less hydrogen than in a fuel cell. If you compare a regular fuel cell that is made for cars, we can imagine to have 4,000 times more energy for the same consumption of hydrogen. So that makes a car that can run about 200,000 kilometers, so more than 10,000 miles between each refill. So if we can achieve that, that's very interesting for the transportation industry. So how do we do that? Well, we don't want at this stage develop the LENR generator ourselves. We want to team up with a company that are already advanced with that. Currently we're speaking with Defcalion and with there are another cooperation with Rossi, but we're happy to collaborate with Brewin also in the future. And we have been sourcing Stirling generators, so not Stirling engines, Stirling generators that directly convert heat into electricity. These are actually affordable devices and that are able to be delivered in high volume by the company we're working with. We're also working on different technology, like small ranking turbines. And the goal is to combine those two technologies. If you do the math, at this stage we're focusing on a device that would consume 1 kilowatt of electricity with a COP of about 10, and which is what's claimed by both Rossi and Defcalion, and maybe Brewin in the near future. So with an output of 10 kilowatts, and if you do the math, you can expect something like around 1 kilowatt or 1.5 kilowatt. This is not enough to power a car, but it's enough to recharge the battery, and that's basically what you will consume for a day using the car for 1 hour or 2 hours per day. So developing all this idea, we had to focus on different strategy to work with the university, and we had to find a less controversial way to develop the heat to electricity conversion. And actually we found a very good source of thermal energy, which is a race car that we're working with, and it's a car that has been running in the 24 hours of Le Mans, and was the first hybrid car that ever raced in that competition. It has a flywheel and a chemical energy recovery system, and what we want to use is transform this car into a laboratory, a lab car, where we want to add exhaust heat recovery system, and it's about the same kind of power, thermal power, that what we want to achieve in the future. The other thing we have developed in the last year is building an ecosystem, especially in Switzerland. So that's our company. There's another company that has been created called LENR Invest. Is actually a company that is trying to raise funds, kind of like a VC fund, but more holding that is raising funds to invest in different companies developing LENR. It can be Jet Energy, it can be Brewin, it can be Lenico. I'm not it's my partner who is involved in that company, and the idea is to build a system of company stronger together than just having like Rossi and Lefkali and competing each other. At the end, the competition is versus the oil industry and the coal industry and nuclear industry, and not between the different actors of LENR. Then we're collaborating also with another company based in Switzerland called LENR City, which is making a platform, a legal platform to build a joint venture between research lab in the field of LENR and big industry. And we're working also with the Swiss ECAP licenses. All those companies have been advertising LENR in Switzerland towards cities, mayors, towards politicians, to companies, utility, electricity companies, to transportation industry. And of course, I did not mention it, but I'm one of the founders of MFMP, but we'll discuss that later with Bob and Tiger. And we're doing collaboration with Lefkalian. We have this deal with a Japanese steering manufacturer who's doing the manufacturing in China. We're focusing on the transportation industry, and we have good contacts within the automotive field and with other companies outside the automotive in the transportation industry. So some achievements so far. So we have different LENR prototypes that we've developed for MFMP that are running in our lab. We've applied for one patent in the US that should be published now in November this year, that is covering basically this idea of using LENR for transportation. We have collaboration with the Afghanian, collaboration with Leonardo Corporation licensees of partnership with the LENR Stirling generator. We have done some replication of Celani experiment with actually one of the team where we had positive results with Celani wire. And then we replicate this experiment to third party, and we had negative results. Part of there were some failure in their system and some failure on our side on this cell that we developed. We have the live acquisition system from Hug that we're using at the MFMP that allows to see live data from experiment. We get the support from IMD Business School in Lausanne that is helping us challenging our business model, and we have some very good contacts with major transportation companies. So that's the current stage of the funding, and thank you very much.